Hey everybody, welcome back to the War Boss Fitch channel, where you once again get to listen to the sultry sounds of my nasally voice. Do you guys ever record yourself and then listen back to it? It just sounds weird in your head. That's me every time I do one of these. Anyway, this week we're going to be going over the Dwarf Guilds for Grimdark Future. And our 3D creator of the week this week is going to be One Page Rules, because they have the full Dwarf Guild STL library available. Let's click on the link here. And here you can see every file available for the Dwarf Guild army. So as we go through, I'll be putting up pictures for all of the units. Now what we're going to do is go over all of the units and the special rules and the spells. I'm not going to go over every unit verbatim. I'm just going to show you the unit, tell you what it's good at, maybe give you some ideas when you build a Dwarf Guilds army of your own. Starting off with the special rules. Here we have quite a few different shooting rules. Stuff we haven't seen in other armies yet, so let's go over a few of them. First one, we have Beam. Unmodified rolls a 6, deal 2 extra hits. So it's kind of like Furious for shooting, but instead of 1 hit you get 2. Next is Magma. Hits from this weapon ignore regeneration, and enemies take 1 extra wound for each unmodified defense roll of 1. So it's like a Reap that ignores regeneration. We have a Spectrum Scanner that when you put that into a unit, they ignore any cover when they shoot. And even though it's not on the screen, the main special rule for this army is slow. That's going to be the one thing that you're going to have to overcome with this army. One of the easy ways to do it is with Battle Haste. This model and unit ignore the slow rule. So that's going to be on a hero. We'll talk about it when we get there. So let's move on to spells. Offensive spells do what offensive spells do. Let's look at the buffs. The Spite Rune. One enemy unit gets a -1 to hit in melee. That's pretty darn good. Battle Rune. 2 friendly units get +2, +4 whenever they move. That could be a way to get around the slow rule. And then Drill Rune. Target 2 friendly units with an 18 to get flying next time they activate. That could be really good depending on what squad you put it on. So again, we'll have that in mind when we look at units. So let's get to it. So looking at the army, the first hero that we come to, and this is going to be a first for the channel, we have a unique hero. Hadrund Uth Ironwold. God, I bet I butchered that. Pretty decent quality. You got a 3/3 for this unit. Only equipped with melee weapons. 4 attacks, AP2 with rending, that's pretty good, but the real power of this hero is this special rule called Depth Prospector. This model and its unit get Tunneler. And Tunneler means you get ambush, but it's the improved ambush. You can pop up outside of 1 inch of the enemy. Being a pretty decent melee character on its own, being able to couple that with any unit in the army and popping them up outside of 1 inch of the enemy is incredible. We'll go over that some more when we get to the units so I can show you what, in my mind, I would hook this character to. Our next hero is going to be the Power Suit Champion. Now the Power Suits are the big bulky suits that you see. They're kind of the Dwarf Guild's equivalent of the Battle Brothers Destroyer. So this hero is pretty beefy, and that Power Suit comes with 6 toughness. And the Power Suit also gives him ambush, meaning that he can pop up after turn 1, 9 inches away from the enemy. Let's look at some upgrades, because the stock weapons on this character aren't great. So first we're going to go to the unit upgrades. We got Caster 2 that lets you get into the spells that we talked about. You can give them the Battle Lord spell, which means that this model and its unit get +1 AP in shooting, and that is a huge thing in this army. With the dwarfs, because you are a bunch of short kings, you are going to be shooting stuff more than you are going to be punching stuff. And giving your shooting +1 AP is great, but again, depends on the unit. The other option is Repair. That lets you heal a unit within 2 inches of you if it's still alive and it's taken some wounds. So it's going to be like a vehicle or maybe other power suits, kind of like that's the unit he's supposed to go in. So let's scroll down here to the weapon upgrades. Now with the power suits, even though they have the ambush rule, and in 9 out of 10 other armies, whenever you ambush, you're going to want to get into close combat because the dwarves are slow. if you drop 9 inches away from the enemy, you can't reach them because your maximum charge range is going to be 8 inches instead of 12. So what you're going to want to do with your Power Suit Champion is you're going to want to deck them out for shooting. You have an AP4 option with a plasma pistol, but realistically your best bet is going to be the Rapid Storm Rifle. 6 shots at AP1, especially if you couple it with that Battle Lord, 6 shots at AP2. That's a pretty decent investment there, but you are pricey. At this point, your Power Suit Champion is 240 points, but depending on what you put them in, could be worth it. Alright, next unit we're going to talk about is your Standard Champion. Pretty good with a Quality 3, Defense of 3. Again, the only options are Repair, Caster 2, or Battle Lore. So, probably, again, going to be going for the AP plus 1. And this is where the options start. As you can see over here, this big long line of stuff, he's going to have an option to synergize with whatever squad you want to put him in. And all the way down here at the bottom, the character is only toughness 3. So if you put him on a combat bike or a pioneer bike and give him all of these upgrades, he's still going to be able to go in the squads. So this is a buffing character. Again, when we go through units, we'll show you how to integrate a Dwarf Champion into those squads. Next and last character is the Berserker Veteran. Only Quality 4 and Defensive 5. But we got Fearless, Furious, Slayer, and he's carrying around a heavy great axe, which is deadly 3. Fearless means whatever squad he's with, they're going to get a do-over on a failed morale test. If they fail the morale test with Fearless, you get to roll 1 die on a 4+, you pass that morale test. Furious, he gets extra hits in close combat on a 6. And then Slayer, if his target is toughness 3 or higher, he gets AP2. So that would turn his heavy great axe into AP4, deadly 3. You can do a Cyber Augment, which is just the Berserker gets regeneration. Or Battle Haste. This is the one character you could put into a unit to make them faster. Putting him with this rule means you ignore slow. And if you want to go for more hits instead of one big hit, you could switch out for a dual heavy Berserker axe. And against stuff that's toughness 3, it's going to be 4 attacks, AP3. As far as damage goes, this character is a coin flip. You're going to do a lot of damage, but you only hit half the time. So let's move on into the units. And the first unit, Dwarf Warriors. Quality 4, Defense 4. Slow, and they're all carrying rifles for 1 shot at 24. Now you can do Sergeant upgrades if you want, giving the Sergeant a pistol option and a melee option. You could do a whole unit weapon change, switch out the rifles for shotguns, 12-inch 2 shots at AP1, or iron blasters, 18 inches, 2 shots at AP1. And then we have a whole gambit of special and heavy weapons. Depending on what you were planning on fighting, pick the special or heavy weapon of your choice. And then down here at the bottom, there's medical training where you can give the whole unit regeneration, or a spectrum scanner where you can get the whole unit to ignore cover. So this is your bog basic standard infantry. And I'll show you what I like to do with them, even though you're slow. I like to give them shotguns. Shotguns for only 15 points. I think is going to be better than iron blasters because you're 30 points cheaper. But either way, it's double the shots at AP1. And then combine the unit, make a squad of 10, because why not? Take a Dwarf Champion, attach that to the Warriors. And then this is where that Battle Lore comes in. And then, just because, give the Champion a shotgun as well. So what we're looking at here, 10 Warriors and a Champion, including the Champion's shotgun that's 23 shots at 12 inches at AP2 because of the Battle Lore. Now they are still slow, but there's ways around that. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and break tradition right now, and I'm going to show you how. APCs. APCs for the Dwarf Warriors, in my opinion, are absolutely necessary. They are 205 points, so they're not exactly cheap. But what they do, you can put all your Dwarf Warriors in it. Say you have these Warriors with the shotguns. Run the APC forward 12 inches. Try to hide it. Hopefully it survives. And then your Warriors jump out. You can only go 6 from an APC, or in this case 4 because you're slow. And then they start shooting off. So at that point, with this unit of Warriors in the APC, you have a threat range of 28 inches. 12 for the APC move, 4 for the hop out, and then 12 for the range of the shotguns. All that shooting at AP2 is going to hurt stuff. Now the APC on its own, you have some options. You come with a heavy machine gun and twin heavy rifles, so you start off with 5 AP1 shots. Isn't terrible, gives you a little bit of utility after you drop off the warriors. But there's some interesting things that we could do. There's missiles, there's super heavy fusions, and then there's the one that I think is fluffy for the army because you don't really see this much. The H-beam cannon. First, it's free. 2 shots at AP4 with beam. And if you roll a 6, it's 2 extra hits. So potentially, you could get 6 hits at AP4 if you roll box cards on the first shots. But if you want to strictly go vehicle hunting with it, you can go for the super heavy fusion rifle. 1 shot AP4 deadly 6. 50-50 shot you're going to hit. But instead of gambling on the H-beam cannon, it's just a straight 6 damage if it goes through. So keep the APC in your mind as we go through it. It's a way to get your troops to go faster than they really should. The next unit is Guardians. Quality 4, defense 4. Come with shield wall, where they get +1 defense rolls against hits that are not from spells. So you're essentially defense 3. And they come with 1 shot of a pistol, 12, and 1 close combat attack. Now this is a sci-fi version of what fantasy dwarves usually are in my mind. They are tanky and slow. So you could get rid of the pistol for 2 attacks in close combat, or you can get rid of the pistol and go for a heavy spear for 1 attack at AP1 with counter. And counter means that whenever you get charged, you are going to attack first. So if you need a unit that's going to guard an objective that is close to your deployment zone, Guardians with the heavy spears, it's only 80 points, so really cheap for this army. The enemy's going to have to think when they charge into you, because 5 attacks at AP1, if it's a small enemy unit, wouldn't want to take those casualties. Next unit are the Berserkers. Quality 4, defense 5. Fearless, furious, slayer, and slow. So they got the same rules that the Berserker veteran had. So 1 attack with their great axes at AP2. With slayer, if it's anything that's toughness 3 or higher, it turns into AP4. You could switch it out for dual Berserker axe to make it 2 attacks at AP2 on stuff that's toughness 3. If you really wanted to, you could put a grenade launcher on there, but I don't see why. This is one of those units that you're just going to point at the enemy and just keep on going until every last one of them drop. And you also have the option to give them all regeneration for only 15 points. So let's build a unit. Let's see, we're going to do regeneration, and then we're going to do dual Berserker axe. Combine the unit, 190. Now you can put a Berserker veteran on here, give them battle haste, and then switch for a dual heavy Berserker axe. And with the battle haste, they're going to be moving 12, so you could run these on foot or do the APC option like we were talking about before. Point this at anything in the enemy army that has toughness 3 or higher, and they'll eventually tear it in half. Now we're going to move into some fun stuff. Iron Veterans. Quality 3, defense 3, so these are good shots and tanky. They got iron shotguns which start at AP2 with 2 shots, but they're only 6-inch range. They got a sergeant option. You can switch out all the shotguns for iron blasters for 65 points. If you do that, you can upgrade to a heavy weapon. And then we have medical training and spectrum scanner. So for this unit, this is going to be a spot. You know that special character we had? Join that to the veterans. Give us more veterans. So this character's ability to give tunneler to the unit kind of negates all the problems that the iron shotguns have. The 6-inch range. You could pop up outside of 1 inch of the enemy and just blast them. Or if you want that firepower to be even more devastating, put on a Dwarf champion, battle lore, and the champion can take an iron shotgun with 4 shots. So again, battle lore gives you AP1. This is definitely a unit to put into an APC just to get you across the board and to get your guns in range. Because 24 shots at AP3, all hitting out of 3, there's not that much that's going to be able to stand up to it. Put an APC on there, you're looking at 520 points for this squad and the APC. But if you can get it in range in one piece, that's going to delete whatever you pointed at. Next unit is Miners. Now these come with the tunneler rule already built in. Quality 4, but their defense is only 5, so they're wearing t-shirts. They have all got pistols, 2 shots at 9 inches at AP1. Again, sergeant options. Now you can trade out all of the pistols for iron shotguns for free. Drop the range from 9 to 6, but you pick up an extra AP. And you can also leave off one iron shotgun you can switch out for, say, a fusion rifle. So once again, this is a ambushing style Dwarf unit that focuses on firepower, because they do have 2 close combat weapons, but just the AP alone, shotguns for 6 inches are just the way to go. Pick a target, pop up, shoot it. You could do multiple minor units, but I think the best thing to do is to combine them into one squad. This way, if you know you're going to be going first on one of the turns where you do the ambush, pop up, shoot with them immediately. Because only defense 5 with only 2 close combat attacks apiece, they are susceptible to just being charged and overwhelmed. So the next unit is the Jetpack Warriors. Ambush and flying, quality of 4, defense of 4. Come with close combat weapons and pistols. Again, sergeant options. Now they come with 2 close combat attacks and 1 shooting attack, or you have the option to do 2 shooting attacks and 1 close combat attack. Then they got some other options. Start off with 5 warriors, you can give 2 of them plasma pistols, iron shotguns or iron pistols, just to up the AP on the shooting. Because you have to ambush outside of 9, plasma pistol will put you right in range as soon as you drop, but you're not slow with the Jetpack Warrior, so you can move around a bunch. Iron pistol or iron shotgun, that one's up to you. 6-inch flamer pistol, you can only get one of those in the squad, but if you want to stick with the twin glove pistols, take a flame pistol and then do the twin glove pistol, just the possibility for more attacks. And then you can do up to 2 plasma swords or shock gauntlets and 1 shock hammer or plasma axe. Where this unit isn't slow, close combat is an option. My suggestion would be the shock gauntlet and the plasma axe, just to be more devastating when you do hit. Next unit is the Elites, quality 3, defense 3. We got Fearless, so again that's the morale do-over. Protected. This one, if the enemy attacks you, it reduces the AP by 1. So essentially your defense 2, unless the enemy's shooting at you with crap. And they come with heat hammers. 1 attack AP2 with magma. Magma's the one, it's like the reap that ignores regeneration. You can swap out the 1 attack for 2 attacks, but you lose the AP, and you can also put in a great heat hammer. 1 attack AP2, magma, and blast 3. This is one of those squads that it does have some interesting stuff with all the magma attacks, but I don't know if there are not just better choices. Units are cool, they look cool, and I will never disparage somebody for running cool models, but they're slow. APCs or the Berserker Veteran could fix that, but in that case, I would just run the Berserkers. I mean, the Elites do have a lot more defense than the Berserkers do, but here we got the Slayer rule. They lose magma, but they have Slayer, and just the cost alone. Berserkers are 65 versus the Elites 105. I don't know, I would go with Berserkers over the Elites. Next unit is the Sniper Team. Scout, slow, stealth. Stealth means they're -1 to hit outside of 9 inches, so if the enemy's firing at you from 9 inches away, -1 for them to hit you. And Scout means that you get to move 12 inches before turn 1. So they come with sniper rifles. 1 shot, AP1, sniper at 30 inches. Sniper means they're going to hit on a 2. And with the sniper shots, it doesn't really apply here, but if you have a mixed unit sniper shots, you always have to roll them first, just to get the sniper target kill out of the way before everything else fires. But like I said, doesn't apply to this unit. Your 2 options are fire or plasma ammo. Fire gives you magma, and plasma gives you beam. So we're working on the 2 extremes here. Fire ammo, if the enemy rolls a 1 for defense, it counts as 2 wounds. Plasma, if you roll a 6, it counts as 2 more hits. Generally a toss-up with what you want it to be, but I think, just in my mind, plasma ammo gets the edge by a little bit. I don't know how that math works. I could be on the wrong side of that equation, but just my gut feeling, the beam is going to be better than magma. Next unit are Thunder Supports. These are the walking heavy weapon tanks of the Dwarfs. So quality 4, defense 4, they're slow. They come with mortars. 30-inch indirect blast of 3. And then for weapon options, a whole bunch of heavy weapons here. For the C-Beamer here, we have a beam weapon, but it's only AP1 in 2 shots to start with, but it actually reduces the point cost of the squad by 5 points. Interesting. Heavy machine guns for squad clearing, missile launcher for anti-vehicle work, gravity H cannon or heavy cannon to give all your shots rending, and the autocannon, which I think might be the best all-round heavy weapon of the game, but it is the most expensive choice here at 20 points apiece. All the options here have merit, it just depends on shooting them at the right targets. And you can also upgrade them to ignore cover. That's about all there is to say. Little guys with big guns. Next we come to another fun one, the Power Suit Guard. The Destroyer equivalents, Quality 3, Defense 3, Ambush Slow, and Toughness 3. So again, slow. With Ambush, you're not going to be able to make that charge on the turn you drop in, so probably going to want to kit these guys out for shooting. Because if you're using Ambush, you're already taking away 25% of the game, so you can't use them on turn 1. If you drop them in to charge something and they can't reach it on turn 2, you've removed them from 50% of the game. So let's do shooting. Okay, they start off with the iron pistols. 2 shots at AP1, not terrible, but if we're going to pour some points, let's pour some points. Storm rifles is definitely the way to go. Then you can choose to replace those with a heavy machine gun, rail rifle, or a plasma cannon. I wouldn't worry about that. And you could choose to replace the melee weapons, which again, I wouldn't worry about that because we're not going to focus on melee. Maybe if you want to put 1 shock gauntlet in there just to keep the enemy honest if they do charge in, 3 attacks AP4, and then to keep everything together, if we're going to spend points, let's do it. Put a power suit champion in there, give them battle lore, give the champion a rapid storm rifle, and why not double it? Oh, we actually hit the limit. That's right, at 2,000 points you can't have 1 unit worth more than 700, and we're at 840, so don't combine it. So here we go. 540 points, 15 shots at AP2 at 24 inches, not terrible. If you wanted to kind of gamble just for points, you could keep them all with the iron pistols. Your range is only 9 inches, 10 shots AP2, but at this point you can combine the unit. 565, it's about the same costs as it was for 3 power suit guard with storm rifles versus 6 power suit guard, but your guns only have a 9-inch range, so if the enemy moves away from you, you could be SOL on the turn you drop in. But again, the models, the units, short doors, and chunky armor. I love it. Alright, that's enough of that. Next unit, Dwarf Bikes. Let's get into some fast stuff. Quality 4, Defense 4, so middle of the road, like all your basic dwarves. Toughness 3, and for your weapons, again, mostly decked out for shooting. We got auto guns for 2 shots apiece at 24 at AP1, and iron pistols for 2 shots apiece at AP1 and 9 inches. What I suggest to do is just give them all shotguns, because getting in that 12-inch band is going to be easier than getting into a 9-inch range band. 220 points for 3 bikes, 12 shots at AP1. It's not bad. It's not bad on its own, but if you wanted to pump it, you do Dwarf Champion. Again, battle lore, because why not? A shotgun and a combat bike. Now we got 17 shots at AP2, 425, so you can combine it for 645 if you just want to run a unit. If you want to have the short Sons of Anarchy in your army, 7 bikers, 6 bikers in the champion, 29 shots, duplicate this twice. There you go, 2,000 points, all bikers. Well, 1935, you could do a little jostling in there. Not the most effective, but it'd be fun. Last unit, we have the Dwarf Trike. Fast, toughness 6, 4-4 unit, so middle of the road, again. Comes equipped with the same guns, so it's got 4 shots at AP1 plus a heavy weapon. And in this case, it starts off with a heavy flamer. And we got 12, 24, and 9. Our ranges are kind of all over the place. Let's try to match them up. You don't have the option to put a shotgun on, so you're stuck with that pistol. So depending on your target, C-Beamer, always a fun option. Minigun, another good option. Heavy fusion rifle, I wouldn't put it on this unit because you're going to see we get some cool spots coming up where we can get some anti-tank and some vehicles here. my choice would be the minigun. This way you got 6 shots going out 24 inches. And that's about all there is to say about that. You can add this to your Dwarf biker gang for a little bit of added heavy support. Now into vehicles. We've already talked about the APC, so we get to go to the attack vehicle. 185, quality 4, defense 2. Fast, impact 3, and strider. So it ignores difficult terrain. And impact 3 means if you charge an enemy with it, you're going to get 3 attacks a hit on a 2. No AP, but it is what it is. And I love the models on these. It wasn't until I played the game with these that it hit me. They look like a bobcat. I love it. So you start off with a twin heavy fusion rifle for 2 shots at 18, AP 4, and deadly 3. And their only option is to swap that out for a quad attack machine gun for 8 shots, AP 1 at 30 inches. Now with the attack vehicle, they're tiny, and I am very happy keeping on the twin heavy fusion rifle. These are going to be your little pocket anti-tanks. 50-50 shot quality 4, but 2 shots, AP 4, deadly 3. They're going to do some damage. And because they're fast and strider, they're going to be doing damage from places far from where they started their turn. Next unit is the battle tank. Again, quality 4, middle of the road, defense 2, impact 6, and toughness 12. Starts off with a twin heavy flamer and twin heavy fusion rifle. Now, I don't like that combination because it's 2 separate targets. You're not going to fire the twin heavy fusion rifle the same thing you're going to fire the heavy flamer at. So let's change some stuff here. Let's see, you could switch out the twin heavy flamer with a twin heavy machine gun. Again, that kind of gives us the same problem. One's anti-tank, one's anti-infantry. Let's keep the heavy flamer. Let's see what we can do with that. For anti-infantry stuff, the battle cannon's nice, AP2 blast 3. The flame cannon goes with a theme, 18-inch, 2 shots, AP1 blast 3, and reliable. You put that on there, you get 4 shots, all with AP1, all with blast 3, and they all hit on a 2. If you're going for troops, this would be my choice. Just cook them. Or if you want to reach out and touch somebody, you don't want to cook them, switch out for the twin heavy machine gun and the twin AA cannon. The twin AA cannon is kind of anti-everything with its AP3 and 6 shots. If you wanted to keep it at AP1, you can go for the quad attack machine gun. At this point, it's 14 shots at AP1 at 30 inches for all the DACA. And for anti-vehicle, just keep it stock. Use the twin heavy flamer on anything that decides to get close. Kind of feels like dead points, but it is what it is. Next unit is the assault drill. Quality 4, defensive 2. Ambushing. It can pop up outside of 9. Impact 6, toughness 12, and transport 11. So this is an alternative to the regular APC. So whatever you have shooting, you can pack it in this, or berserkers, you can pack it in this. You can have the assault drill pop out, charge into something because it has 6 attacks AP4 plus its impact 6. It's no slouch in close combat. And then after you kill whatever you're fighting or severely damage it, the squad inside can jump out and take care of business. Now another thing you could do, you don't have to take one squad inside of transports. Transport 11, that's just the maximum number of models you could put into it. So you could take 2 squads of 5 and a hero. It would be 1 hero, it wouldn't be affecting both units, but it's an option. Like you could take berserkers plus a berserker veteran to go reach out and touch something. And you could take some iron veterans to just pile out the front to blast whatever the drill was attacking in case, it didn't kill it all the way. It has a heavy flamer, and you can swap that out with a heavy machine gun, but in all honesty, you're just going to be trying to touch people in their no-no spots with your drills. Next unit is the land train. 435 points. Fast, impact 6, toughness 12, 2 shots with a twin heavy rifle, and 2 twin light fusion AA guns. So overall it's going to be 4 shots, AP4, deadly 3, and lock on. Oof. So you can add on to the land train. You can put more cars on it. You could do transport 1, that gives you transport 11 and toughness plus 6. You could do a transport carriage with a heavy machine gun, a weapon carriage with a twin heavy fusion rifle, or a weapon carriage with another twin light fusion AA gun. This looks like these points are going to get silly. So to start off with, you can replace the twin light fusion AA guns with twin light AA guns for 6 shots apiece, AP1 and lock on. that will be your anti-infantry option there. If you do the transport carriage with a heavy machine gun, that unlocks this section. All of these look like the same options you could put on the APC. And if you do the weapon carriage with a twin heavy fusion rifles, that unlocks this section where it is the same stuff you could put on the battle tank. This is kind of a build your own super heavy vehicle. And as far as suggestions for you for this, I got nothing. Well, I don't know. Let's see here. We go. If you just want to be silly, let's do 2 weapon carriages. Let's kill stuff. We are over the points limit already for single units, but we got 4 of them. You're going to get 8 shots at AP, 4 deadly, 3 with lock-on at 18, or if you just want to be silly, we could have 24 shots with lock-on at AP1. This is too big for the size of games that I usually play, so if you bring this, I don't know, put down in the comments, have you brought this? Does it work? If not, and you want to take it, Godspeed to you. Next unit is the Fortress Tank. Quality 4, Defense 2, Toughness 18, Transport 16. So we could put like 3 squads of 5 in here and a hero, or we could take a whole unit of power suits and a hero and put it in there. Starts off decked out for anti-infantry. We got 4 twin heavy fusion rifles, a minigun, and an iron cannon. So 3 shots, blast 3. 12 shots between these 2 weapons at AP1. Not bad. We got some heavy C-beam, some C-beam. Then we got mortars that we can strap to it. Let's see what this does. We got just do the heavy C-beam and then all the C-beamer. 11 shots with beam. You're going to get some 6s. 655, so all those options were point neutral. Brought us right back to where we were. That'd be fun to run with Transport 16. Pack in everything that you want in there. Definitely an interesting choice. 655 points. So again, it's higher point value than stuff that I would normally run. Let me know what the Fortress Tank does for you guys. I'm sure there's Dwarf Guild commanders out there that run ridiculous point levels. Like 10,000 point games. Let me know how they work for you. Next unit is the Dwarf Walker, nestled in between all of these high point stuff. Quality 3, Defense 2, Fear 2, Slow, Toughness 12. Comes equipped with 2 shock hammers. So I've seen this run, and I've seen this run in melee mode, and I watched the guy who ran them never get it into combat because it is slow. So, as a rule, we're going to make it a shooter. So this whole section here, just ignore that section. We're going to right for the guns. Twin heavy fusion rifle for your anti-tank work, twin heavy machine gun for your anti-infantry work, and twin autocannon for your anti-everything work, but they're 115 points apiece. So for 500 points, it'd be 12 shots at AP2. That's a bit much. I'd say stick to the fusion rifle or the machine gun. Or if you really wanted to have some melee backup, take like the heavy fusion rifle and then do the light walker fist, because you can upgrade the light walker fist with a gun just to lean more into the gun. Next unit is the Combat Excavator. 865, so it's already over the point limit for a 2,000 point game. So it is Toughness 24 and Impact 12. Starts off with a tunneling drill, like we saw in the assault drill, 6 attacks AP4. Twin heavy fusion rifle, heavy machine gun, light fusion AA guns, and a heavy excavator for 12 more attacks at AP4. If you wanted something to go into close combat and absolutely wreck face, this will do it. Then the options we have are for different guns. We got the stuff you could put on the APC, and the stuff you could put on the tank, and the stuff you could put on the land train, swapping out your fusion AA guns for light AA guns. So once again, too rich for my blood. Model's really cool. Let me know how that works for you guys. Then the last unit is the artillery gun. Entrenched, -2 to shoot this model from 9 inches away as long as it didn't move. Slow and toughness 6. And our options are for anti-air stuff. We got the twin fusion AA gun or the twin heavy AA gun. Real simple. Anti-vehicle with twin fusion and anti-infantry with the twin heavy AA guns. Real simple explanation for the last model. It says base size 25 millimeters on this one. Huh. I mean, maybe. But that brings us to the end of the Dwarf Guild's army list. Now, that's enough of me yapping. Now we're going to head out to the garage and we are going to see my ideas put into practice. Maybe it works. Maybe I'm full of crap. Who knows? We'll find out in a minute, and I'll see you out there. Welcome back to the garage, everybody. This is the Dwarf force that we have for today. We're just going to go from one side to the other. We got 2 attack vehicles, unit of bikers. We have 2 units of 5 riflemen. They are going to be split up and inside 1 APC. We have our Dwarf champion here with a unit of warriors all armed with shotguns inside another APC. And we have medical attention inside that squad, so this squad's got regeneration. And then we have 10 miners with shotguns and 3 more bikers. The list is going to be down in the description below, and let's check out the other team. Their opponent today is the High Elf fleets that we have from our last episode. Going from the front to the back, we got a noble with acolytes. Here, we've got 2 units of stingers. We've got 2 units of shifters, 1 there and 1 there. Then we've got 2 units of retributors inside of an APC. Uncle C is here again today, and he's going to choose who he is going to play. And while he figures that out, we're going to figure out what the deployment is. So we're going to roll on the chart to see what we get, and we get a 3, which is going to be side battle. So here is our table. We got the dwarfs all mounted up with their APCs in that corner. We ended up doing 4 objectives on the board, which are going to be our green circles. And then we have Uncle C has chosen to run the High Elf fleet. He's got all of his shifters inside the APC. And we got some retributors and other stuff down here on the objective. Let's see who goes first. The elves get a 5 and the dwarfs get a 4. Elves are going to go first. First move, APC is going to come here, and are you going to shoot?
Si, senor.
Okay, what you shooting?
The guy in the tank.
Okay, the guy poking his head out of the APC. Cool. All right, 2 shots on the 3. We got 2 hits. Saving on the 2. Oh, he takes 1 wound. So our APC is down to 5 wounds left already. So that APC is going to move out to there, and then it's going to fire on that APC. 2 rifle shots looking for 4. It's got 2 misses. And then 2 beam weapon shots looking for a 4. Oh, we got 2 hits, and one of those is a 6. So beam means it gets 2 extra hits. 4 saves. AP 4, so it's looking for a 6. We end up getting 3 that go through. So the elf APC is then down to 3 wounds, and it's going to need a morale test. Morale test on a 3. It's going to pass. So we got some stingers that are going to go very fast, or fast, and just end up over here. Slightly fast, next to the APC. Then we're going to have the dwarf warriors with shotguns get out. There they are. They've all got out, and they are going to fire into APC. So that squad all have a shotgun, so there's going to be 2 shots apiece at 12 inches. Everyone is just barely in range. So that's AP 1, and then the Dwarf champion has the everybody gets plus 1 AP on their shots. Black dice are the champion hitting on a 3. Everyone else hits on a 4. Saving on a 4. That's going to be enough to take out the APC. Now we have to do dangerous terrain checks for everybody inside. So the first squad of shifters, they're going to lose 1. Second squad of shifters, they're going to lose 2. So we go from this to this. Both squads get out within 6, and then they are stunned. Next activation, the elves are going to get their retributors down off of the building, put them there, and then they are going to fire here at the shotgun guys. So it's going to be 12 shots looking for a 3 with rending. Ooh, we got some good hits here. So the rending hits save on a 6. That's 2 fails. Everything else saves on a 4. We got 2 more, so that'll be 4 of them down. They don't get regeneration because the guns are rending. So that will be 4, and we're going to take them from the back because we are slow. We need to get every inch that we can get. So this APC is going to move up over to there, rumbling through that difficult terrain. So we got the Acolyte and then the Hero are going to move forward. The Acolytes and the Hero are going to move forward, and then they're going to use all of their psychic potential on the APC. So with the psychic powers of the High Elf fleets, we're going to have the Acolyte squad cast Soul Seeker and Destroyer, and then we're going to have the Noble cast Soul Seeker and Destroyer. So first off, Soul Seeker. That's going to go off on a 3. They're putting 2 points into it. Destroyer goes off on a 3. That does as well. And then the Noble Soul Seeker off on a 4. It does. And then the Destroyer on a 4. That does not. So 2 of the Soul Seeker, the 2 attacks a piece of AP2 that went off twice. The APC is going to save on a 4. It fails 2 of those. And then Destroyer has 6 hits with no AP, so that means it's going to save on a 2. Ooh, we got 1 cocked dice. So it's going to take 3 total. It's going to need a morale test, and it passes. So this APC is down to 3. So the unit of bikes on this flank are going to move forward and put themselves there, which is going to be in range with all of their weapons onto those shifters. So all their shotguns and rifles are AP1. They're going to hit on a 4. And now because they have a cover that kind of negates the AP, so they're going to be saving on a 4. It only loses 1, bringing them down to 2. Since they're already stunned, and you can't run away whenever you get shot, that means that they're just still stunned. Going through the bush, difficult terrain, he can go 8 inches because he's fast, but that's as far as they're going to need to go. And then that squad is going to fire on the APC. 12 shots on a 3 with rending. So we got 1 rending hit. The 1 rending hit on a 6, it's going to fail. Everything else on a 2. It takes 1 more. It's down to 1 wound, but it needs another morale test on a 4. And it fails. So it is stunned and then down to 1 wound left. So before the APC goes down, we're going to get the squads out. There's 2 squads, so this is going to take 2 turns. So the first one's coming out. Like that, we got 5 riflemen. 1 of them has a fusion gun, and they're going to fire at those retributors. So hitting on 4s, the rifles are white. The fusion gun is a black. Got a couple hits. Whites are saving on 4s. Black is saving on a 6. So we lose 3, but that fusion gun was the one that got saved. Morale test for the retributors. And they're going to pass. So 1, 2, 3. So the last activation, the unit of Stingers, is going to go up onto that hill. Yes, they just barely had enough to make it to there. Then we're just going to go ahead and get out of the way now. The last 2 Elf Fleet activations, both of these squads are going to recover. The second squad of Dwarf Warriors are going to get out of the APC. Right there, and then they are also going to fire at those 2 retributors. Same as before, white's the rifles, black's the fusion gun on a 4. We got 3 hits. Blacks needed 6, and the whites need a 4. So they're only going to lose 1. But then, another morale test on a 3. They're going to fail this time. So one retributor goes down, and they get a stunned marker. So the 2 attack vehicles are going to move forward to right there. Then the last unit of bikes is going to just boogie that direction to there. At the end of turn 1, the dwarves have moved up in their APC line. But now that they have gotten out, all of the speed they did have is gone. It's now time for the elves to strike back and show the dwarves that being a little bit taller is superior. So over here, the High Noble and the Acolytes are going to move forward, and then they're going to blow some spells at both of those squads of warriors. So first thing we're going to do is Curse from the Acolytes, and that is going to go off. They spent 3 points on it. Now, what they could do is, so even though I keep calling him a Noble, he's an Elite Protector that is running the Acolyte squad. The Acolytes can give all of their points to the Noble to increase his casting abilities, so we could do another Curse on a 2. That's a good thing we pushed it. So that's going to be 6 hits into each of those squads. So because it went off twice, there's going to be 12 hits for each squad, saving on a 4. So one squad is going to be down to 1, then for the second squad, and the other squad is going to be down to 1. Failed 4 saves on both. So then we got 2 morale tests to take. Only one is going to pass. I didn't choose which one, so we're going to say left is high and right is low. So right squad is going to be the one that passed. So we lose 4 here. And we lose 4 here. And this one is stunned. So if the Dwarf's turn, the squad of bikes is going to move to right there up in the terrain, and then they're going to fire on that squad of shifters. So all their shots hitting on a 4. Ended up with 5 hits, saving all 5. That's going to be it for those 2. Poof. So for the elf activation, we're going to take a squad of stingers that has the noble in it, and they are going to jump into this squad of shotguns. They're going to charge into them. And they're going to charge into the warriors with the shotguns. 13 attacks, hitting on a 2 with reliable. Well, we got a couple ones. And then saving on a 4, re-rolling 6s for poison. Ooh, we got 1 6. I got to re-roll to a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 go down. And no regeneration because poison takes it off. And they're going to need a morale test, which they pass. So they lose 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I forgot they get to attack back. So we got the Dwarf Champion and 1 Warrior. So we got 3 with the Champion, 1 with the Warrior. Champion hits on a 3, Warrior hits on a 4. Everybody hits. So it'll be 3 saving on a 6. So 2 go down, and then 1 saving on a 4. So just 2 go down. Pick it off 2. And then we've already passed the morale test for the Dwarfs. So that's the end of that. So on the Dwarf's turn, we're going to have these Dwarfs. They're going to hop up on the hill over here, and then they are going to fire on those shifters. So 3 shots on a 3, 2 shots on a 4. We got 4 hits. Everything's AP 2. So that'll be 3 dead shifters. Morale test on a 3. They're going to pass. There go 3 shifters, and that last one is being very brave. And these stingers up the hill behind the Wah banner, they are going to be running down here. That's as far as they can get. And they are going to open fire on those bikes. 5 shots on a 3 with rending. We got 3 regular hits. Dwarf bikes save on a 4. 1 bike takes 2 wounds. So that means one of the bikes is down to 1 wound left. Next activation for the Dwarfs. This APC is going to fire all of its weapons into those stingers. So 2 shot with rifles, 2 shots with the beams. The beams are going to be black on a 4. Ooh, we got 1 6 with the beams. So that means there's going to be 4 hits overall there. 4 saves on a 6. There's going to be 3 dead stingers, and then morale test. They're going to fail. So everything but the noble, and then the noble is stunned. So all the way over there, the retributors there are going to move on to that objective, and then he is going to fire at that APC with 5 wounds left. 12 shots with rending on a 3. We got a couple 6s. So we got the rending hits on a 6. Both of those go through, and the rest on a 2. So he takes 2 wounds total, and time for a morale test. It fails. So this big guy goes down to 3 wounds left and is stunned. Next move for the Dwarfs. This squad here, or this APC, is just going to recover. That Retributor over there is going to recover. This Warrior is going to recover. Last activation for the Elves. The Shifter is going to teleport, move, and pop up over here to take a shot at that APC. 2 shots hitting on a 3. We got 2 hits. It is AP 4, so I'm looking for a 6 to save. It fails, so that means that APC is gone. Boom. So we got this 1 warrior that has not activated yet. He is going to fire at that Retributor. Let's just finish that off. So it's just a single shot with a fusion rifle on a 4. It hits. And he saves. Okay, never mind then. So the elves are all done. Let's go ahead and move all the dwarf stuff, and then we're going to shoot with what's going to shoot. So there's all the crazy movement. Let's break it down, the shots. This attack vehicle, for lack of better target, is going to fire at that shifter right there. So this is going to be overkill as long as it hits. 2 shots with its super heavy fusion. 1 hit. It's definitely going to die. As it turns into a greasy spot. Boom! Next shot, the attack vehicle on the little hill there is going to fire at that Retributor. 2 shots out of 4. 2 hits. Saving on a 6. Yeah, that's a dead Retributor. And down here, this squad of dwarfs is going to fire at those stingers. Bunch of shots on a 4. Saving on a 5.
Oh god.
That's all of them. Ka-chow! On turn 2, the dwarves brought more firepower to bear than it looks like the elves were able to absorb. In turn 3, the elves are going to have to pull out some tricks, otherwise this game might end early. So at the beginning of turn 3, the dwarf miners have showed up on this objective all the way back here behind those acolytes. So what the acolytes and the elite protector are going to do, they are going to charge into those miners, but they're going to throw some spells before they actually start fighting. First, going to activate the acolytes. They are going to start off with Destroyer. So that is going to go off, and then they're going to take the rest of their points and put it into Curse, and that's going to go off on a 3. And it does. Then the Noble is going to use Destroyer. Putting all 3 points in, it's going to work. So that's going to be 18 hits total into the miners. So they save on a 5. That's not too bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's enough. So the miners showed up, and then they blew up. Activating that squad of bikes that are over in the corner here. Putting them there, they're going to fire into those Retributors. 12 shots on a 4. Then with their AP1, saving on a 5. They're going to lose 4. Time for a morale test. We're going to pass. 4 of them go down, leaving 1 lone Retributor there to contest. So the Retributor is going to move to here and then fire on this warrior right there. We're going to say he's the one with the 4-shot gun. So 4 shots hitting on a 3. We got 3 hits. One of them's rending. Let's just start with the rending. That's going to be enough. So that warrior, pew! We're going to have this attack vehicle move to there. Little Bobcat machine, and it's going to fire at that noble. So that attack vehicle with its heavy fusion guns, 2 shots on a 4. 1 hit. That is a toasty meatball. Greasy spot. So that does it for the elves. Let's do it for the rest of the dwarves. This is going to recover and become unpinned. And then we'll do some more moving through difficult terrain. Like that. The bike and the attack vehicle moved up, and then this dwarf is going to try to hug that hole as hard as he can. So now with all the different ranges, all the guns on both of those 2 units, minus that warrior, are going to fire at the acolyte and the noble protector. Start off with the attack vehicle. 2 hits. 2 dead acolytes. Then 12 shots from the bikes. Oh, that's a lot of hits. Saving on a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is going to be, the protector is down to 2 wounds left. Morale test. The elite protector passes. So that's going to leave him with 2 wounds left, and then everybody else is gone. So at the end of turn 3, the elves are left with only 2 models on the board. Let's see what happens in turn number 4. So the Protector is going to go for broke. He's going to move forward here and then unleash Psychic Torrents. Casting Curse. He goes off with a 6. So if the attack vehicle saves, it's going to take 3 wounds. And then for the bikes, they're also going to take 3 wounds. So the bikes that were already wounded loses 1 bike. The second one goes down to 1 wound. And then the attack vehicle passes its morale test. So this goes down to 3. This dwarf dies, we move it over to here. And then bloop. We're going to let the Retributor activate, and it's just going to do that. And who are you shooting at?
Tank.
And he's going to fire at the attack vehicle. 4 shots on a 3. 2 more. Okay, so we got 2 rending and 2 regulars. 2 rending. Fails 1, the 2 regulars. Passes them both. So he needs another morale test. And he's good. So because Uncle C said he wanted to be table wiped, let's go. Let's go ahead and move some stuff around.
Doesn't happen often on your channel.
So that's it for moving. I'm just going to take a picture. We're going to roll some dice. So we got 2 shots with the attack vehicle on the Noble Protector. 1 hit. Saving on a 6. It's gone. Then the other attack vehicle misses. So then we got the shotguns from the Warriors. We got 4 hits. It saves. Okay. Then we got some bikes.
A stubborn long ear.
On a 4. Save it on a 5. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to put this up unedited so that you all can see that this is happening. What else we got? We got the APC.
I'm a stubborn bastard.
2 shots of rifle, 2 shots with the beam gun. The only hit we got is with the beam gun.
The 2 or 1?
3. It's gonna be 3 hits on a 6. There we go. He's finally gone. The most stubborn elf. Boom. See this guy? Honorary dwarf. So at the end of the game, the dwarfs end up winning 3 objectives to 1. They still were not able to make it and put their little feet on that objective all the way at the back of the board. The miners tried, but they failed. The dwarves, with their overwhelming firepower, were able to take out the elves, and with the additions of the APCs and the bike squads, they were able to overcome the slow rule. So in a vacuum of this game, the Dwarf Guilds seem to be very, very strong, but we are going to see what happens as they go forward. Thank you all for watching. Links down in the description to become a channel member. And we are doing weekly painting live streams for the members. But that'll do it for me out here in the garage. I hope you guys are out there having a whole bunch of fun playing with OPR and all their different game systems. And one day I see you across the table. I'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.